That's what niggas say all the time. Hey, 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 what is going on? What is going on? I'm back, and I'm black, and I'm blinking and black, and I'm black, y'all. What is going on? What is going on? Another damn day, another 10 cents. Another day at the Clown Ass Court Plantation. What is going on? This is the No I Don't Know TV series, whatever the hell you want to call it. I always be talking this shit about I'm about to text Nuke. I'm about to text Nuke right now, though, while y'all bullshit. Because I just remember this shit. But anyway, my bad. Look, I'm texting Nuke. But anyway, man, I just thought I'd hit y'all real quick. Let me cut this clown ass shit down. Hey. Let me cut that shit down. I was just rocking out. That's why it should be loud and shit. I'm trying to get in the mood and shit. Not really. Not that type of mood. Hold on, I'm texting Nuke. But anyway, I just thought I would hit y'all up. You know, like I said, I am your boy Warren G, in the place to be. Been clowning sucker free since 2003. But anyway, I'm about to get right into it. Man, yeah. I already know it's cold, and it's cold in a motherfucker, man. This weather keep going from hot to cold. I've been drinking watered down ass elderberry tea. Just got the new shipment of it. Drinking turmeric and ginger organic tea. Drinking anise tea. Taking vitamins and shit had me, man, I normally don't get sick or none of that shit, but that shit had me fucked up because that's the one thing I do not like about the weather, how it be changing and going from hot to cold. That shit is not good. But anyway, man. Title, I'm gonna get right into it right now. Black destruction and the people who add to the madness. Let's get to it. I gotta talk about it already. Man. When I say black destruction, I mean, I was talking to this sister today. Real cool sister. I mean, real cool sister today. This wasn't at the court plantation. No, we just chopping it up. I ain't gonna put all where she work at or whatever, nothing like that, but we was just chopping it up. No, we wasn't at the court plantation. No, I wasn't fucking her either. I know y'all niggas like, what was you doing? Was you talking to her after you got done fucking? Nah, nigga. But anyway, we was chopping it up or whatever, and she was just breaking it down. She was like, yeah, man, these motherfucking niggas, man, they'll smile with you and go to HR on you and go to the people and tell, and it's like, it's hard to get jobs as it is, and it's like, though that's one of the definitions of a motherfucker who adds to the madness of black destruction. So when you one of those Sambo ass, tell them about a gun line boss, Hayward Shepherd ass motherfuckers who get off on telling on people because you have lack of confidence or you may not look as good or look better than the next person, man, that's a self-esteem issue, and your parents didn't do a good job building up your self-esteem when you was a child. Because, man, when we are adults, to me, when you get on the court plantation, when you at work or you at your job, you're there to do a job and go home. You're not there to impress people. You're not there to be fucking on the bitches that you work with. You're not there to be making friends. You're not there to make friends. It's about associates, relationships, and business. And I think a lot of times we misconstrue it and think it's something else. And then we start acting accordingly because we mimic the behavior of the people who are in charge a lot of the times. That's a fact. That's why you can see a nigga and you be like, oh yeah, that's the homie, yeah. And then you notice how he conduct himself or she conduct herself in corporate America at the court plantation. You're like, damn, man, why the fuck they acting like that? But a lot of people, they will gut you like a fish to get to that bag. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all about taking care of your family, feeding your family. But it's like, where are your principles? Where's your belief system? But a lot of people's belief system is in getting the bag by any means necessary. So gutting motherfuckers, stabbing them, slicing, dicing them, stepping on their motherfucking heads. That's what we'll do. And we don't care about the consequences of destroying relationships and anything like that. And I feel like that's one part of it. I think another part of it is self-hate. I did a podcast on that before. That's like a drug. So when you hate yourself, you're going to hate anybody else that's around you. And third, I think we look to blame black people as black people because it's comfortable for us. And that's what the dominant society has socialized us to be. They socialize us to think like, oh, well, when you hear about a shooting, must have been some niggas. But we don't know that we're not the number one gun owner in the United States of America. It's white people. I'm talking about legalized firearms, but we just automatically think that it's that. You know what I mean? And that's the thing that trips me out, because when it came to a lot of women accusing Bill Cosby, it was all good. Oh yeah, he was doing it. His ass was doing that. Okay, whatever. That's what people say. But when it came time for us to put Harvey Weinstein on the stand, motherfuckers act like the shit didn't even exist. Motherfuckers act like it's not even true. Like, no, there's no way he would do that. Now they settling with him out of court for millions of dollars. Because women will put a price on that pussy hole, and they will barter and auction off the pussy hole to see what type of money they gonna get. Which brings me to my point. That's where you gotta remove the racism. Now it's a classism thing in a certain type of realm. But then again, it's not. It is a racism thing, because I would say that Bill Cosby has probably about the same amount of wealth as Harvey Weinstein. But he's black. Harvey Weinstein is a Jew, white. And that's the problem. And a lot of the times, I look at a lot of like different things I was reading. I was like, damn, man, they was talking about R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? They talking about R. Kelly. And I just been watching them talk about R. Kelly. But it was a dude that was on HGTV. His name was Christopher Dion. A dude on HGTV. Look him up on Google. That motherfucker getting ready to go to prison for 25 years. That's what he's facing, because he was molesting a 10-year-old. Now, HGTV, you know they gonna he wasn't on the show, he wasn't the host, whatever. That's not the point. They're not blasting this shit all over the news. They're not putting this shit out there, but they can't wait to put up anything about R. Kelly. Anything about R. Kelly. Anything, and they're gonna keep revisiting him. Now, Michael Jackson shit didn't stick. So now HBO running and hiding, because now they like, ooh, shit, them motherfuckers was lying. We should have. And now you notice Oprah, everybody they hadn't veered to the left and they didn't exit stage left. Now you don't know where the fuck these motherfuckers is at. But when it comes to the dominant society, you don't never hear about this shit. And what's so crazy was I was looking it up on my phone, and there was another dominant white motherfucker that was on, I think, Days of Our Lives. One of those Young and the Restless or Days of Our Lives. I'm about to look this motherfucker up. And that motherfucker was on the sex offenders list. I guess for molesting a kid or some shit like that. White boy. But they ain't talking about that shit, though. They don't never put that shit out there, but they'll constantly keep putting black people out there because they the ones who control the media. That's a fact. And that's why I just be like, damn, man, they always talking about this shit. And then I look at things like you got these NFL players that was in on the goddamn health insurance scam in the NFL. See, they gonna go out there. Look, let me tell you something. If you are doing something illegal to the point to where it's fucking with hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, and you are on a major platform and you black, guilty, nigga, they got you. So I don't know why we always think I'm going to just slide by, because that's what these motherfuckers is doing. No, you can't do what they do. You can't do what they do. You can't act like they act. You can't replicate what they do. And even if you replicate what they do as far as dry snitching and telling on other black people, yeah, they like you for a minute, but after a while, they in there talking shit about you too. This dumb niggas telling on everybody else. And then they going to be looking at you crazy too, because they going to be like, oh, this is a dry snitching motherfucker. And I don't respect nobody like that, because deep down inside, most dominant society people, they may not like you, but they respect that you will stand on a principle and a mindset and a purpose, and they can't just walk all over you. You just doing a bidding for just on GP type shit, just so you can get the bag. There's a lot of motherfuckers like that. There's a lot of motherfuckers that'll shun the people they around and distance they sell from other motherfuckers so they can get the bag. See, motherfuckers can't never say that shit about me, because I ain't got no money, but I'm always solo dolo by myself for the majority of the time. Because I don't like hanging. I just don't. like waiting around on people. Period. I hate waiting around on people for us not to accomplish anything. That's probably a pet peeve of mine. Waiting to accomplish nothing. Because if you're not, look, I can waste time by myself, but waiting on another nigga, I don't have time for that shit. And which brings me to my other point. We don't respect or value each other's time. We feel like our time is more important than the next motherfucker. I'm a one of, if I'm busy, I got shit to do, I'm gonna tell you, man, I'm busy, I got shit to do. I'm not gonna have you waiting on me, and then, oh yeah, I ain't gonna be able to make it. And I'm not gonna, oh yeah, let's do it this time. I'm always, when it's time to handle business, I'm with it. But once I feel like, well, we just going around in circles, I just leave it alone. I don't take it personal though. I don't take that it's business. I don't take it personal. Fuck it. It is what it is. That's how life is designed. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of people that they'll distance themselves and they'll gut you and step all over your head so they can get paid. And they could be on some motherfucking Stephen A. Smith type shit and be on the national platform and be talking shit about niggas all the goddamn time. And it's just like, I guess he feels like, well, I'm a sports analyst and all this other stuff. Yeah, but some of the shit he be saying, that it sounds real coonish, real Sambo-ish, and he don't never talk shit about the other race of players like he do when it comes to black people. He go extra hard on black people. That's why they paying him all that money at ESPN, because he's a fucking coon and a clown. That's what he is. And they like that type of buffoonery behavior, especially when you going at your own people. But I notice don't nobody never on a major platform be like, well, the system of racism and white supremacy is real. And the NFL is ran like a plantation. I'm not saying that not saying that the NBA is not ran that way. It's just not, it's more subtle, it's more covert. You know what I mean? That's why when the Clippers owner Donald Sterling was talking all that shit about niggas and shit, they sold it to another Jew, another white person. They didn't go out of their way to sell to a black person at all. That's why it's only one black owner, and that's Michael Jordan. This team is fucking terrible. All the other teams, they're white. But I don't understand why people be thinking that, oh no, it's different. It's easy to say it's different when you got a little bit of bread, you got a little bit of money, and you dealing with more Caucasians, and they treating you different. They treating you differently because of money and the access to whatever they need to get from you. That's why they treating you like that. They're not treating like you. They're not treating you like that because they really value you. Because most of the time, I'll tell you this: if you stay on code, go read Neely Fuller Jr. book, The Compensatory Counter-Racist Code of Ethics. They gonna stay on code. That's a fact. That's a motherfucking fact. They gonna stay on code. So I don't know why everybody be feeling like, oh, you know, these motherfuckers, hey, what's happening, bodiless passenger? Hey, these motherfuckers don't fuck with you like that. That's a fact. Man, trust and believe. You start thinking that, like, oh man, they really care about. Look, I don't care if you an R&B singer, a rapper, you a producer, you on a major record label. They view you as an asset because you're bringing money to the table. Once you're no longer an asset, you're a liability, they gonna treat your black ass like they do the rest of these motherfuckers. They don't give a fuck, they don't care. That's why I feel like we are destroying each other because we do the work for them. And I'm not just talking about, well, black people kill black people too. Man, fuck all that. I'm not talking about all that. I'm talking about basic principles. How to conduct yourself on a job. How to act in accordingly. And I'm not talking about not dry snitching. I'm just saying, don't get around a whole bunch of, see me, I'm talking about off the job personally. I don't get around a whole bunch of white people and start talking shit about black people. I don't get around a whole bunch of white people and start being their entertainment and, mommy, hello my baby, hello my darling, hello my ragtime girl, girl you set my heart on fire. That bullshit. You know, I don't do that with the top hat and playing the trombone and being the WB Frog. Nah, man, stop that shit. If you put that shit on blast, when you see people doing it, they'll stop it. And when you get around people that are the dominant society, and I'm talking about you're not in a work setting, you're not in a corporate plantation environment, and you just chilling, and they try to come at you with that, want you to like mimic certain people and be the entertainment, be like, look, man, I'm not your entertainment, homie. I don't give a fuck if they do pull out money. Be like, nah, man, that's not the type of shit I'm on, homie. You gotta be easy. Because if you don't meet these motherfuckers where they stand, they gonna always treat you that way. Just like in the first Hidden Colors, when Nas was like, I saw Tommy Hilfiger, the real Tommy Hilfiger on a yacht. And he was like, what are you doing on the yacht? You like performing or something? Because he didn't think Nas had any type of money or Nas was investing or anything. Because they don't see you that way. Just like they don't think that you're into stock, bonds, 401k, IRA. They think the majority of just dumb, locked and boxed out of knowledge. Look, let me tell you something. Books are the equivalency to weed, beer, cigarettes, cocaine, crack, all the shit, crystal meth, heroin. It's the equivalency to that. And you like, what do you mean? I'm talking about cost-wise. You can buy enough books to get you high on knowledge. You can buy enough crack to get you high off that shit. So it's like, what are you putting your money into? You can learn a lot about people with what they put their money into. And there's nothing wrong with that. I say that all the time. I've been around people who put their money into cars, clothes, shoes. I don't ever trip off that shit. Do your thing. Because most people are like, oh, well, you just hating. Nah. I'm happy for people. I just choose to put my money into other shit. I'm not making it seem like I got a whole bunch of books, but my book game collection is probably more than the average motherfucker. Because I know the average motherfucker, when I get to talking about books, they be like, what is that? And I be like, damn, you ain't heard about this book? And I still try to encourage people, man, go get you some books. Even if you don't do nothing but read 5 minutes a day. That's better than not reading the fuck at all. We can read a bunch of Instagram posts and Twitter fucking tweets and Facebook shit, but when it comes time to getting a book, picking it up and reading and educating ourselves about the money game, how money is being distributed, how white folks are doing with their money and how they're aligning it. Oh, let me get an IRA. Oh, let me get a money market account. Let me get some stocks and some bonds. Let me do the necessary things. When it comes to that, niggas be like, that's white people shit. It's always white people shit when it comes to the money game. But when it comes to buying Gucci and Louis and Fendi and all this other bullshit, oh, we got that all day. We'll do that all day long, all day strong. But when it comes to having intrinsic value in each other, nope. You know what we do? We fight, we argue. We go and tell, and we get into it with each other. We want to fight each other over dumb bullshit that don't even matter. Just petty bullshit. Niggas be on some petty shit too. It ain't just women. Niggas be on a lot of petty bullshit that doesn't make sense. It's just not feasible. It doesn't even matter. And let me tell you this. It's how you being socialized, how you being raised. Each one has to teach one. If you got nieces and nephews, brothers and sisters, anybody that's behind you, that's coming behind you, and they're going to go through the shit that you're going through, each one's got to teach one. So they could be a productive member of society. There's a lot of bitches around here and niggas, they're not productive members of society. They're productive members of the finesse gang. So niggas just want to finesse and finagle some shit up out of you with, so they can pretend like they got it going on, but really they just going around finessing shit. It's a lot of motherfuckers faking it till they make it. A lot of motherfuckers living off other motherfuckers' income and not getting up, getting out, and going to handle business. There's a lot of people blaming everybody else for their shit. Oh, man, I went through that shit too. Oh, man, if that motherfucker would have did. Look, man, I stopped that shit a long time ago. I probably stopped that shit when I started accumulating a lot of debt and figuring out how to get out of it. I was like, man, fuck it. I can't blame nobody but me. I got myself in this shit, so I'm going to just handle it. Did I go around crying wolf and, oh, Lord Jesus, how am I going to do it? I just fucking did it. You win some, you lose some. If you got to walk away, you got to walk away. But it's all gravy. You can't be of destruction or a part of the destruction of your own people, bringing everybody down. Don't you hate them motherfuckers? Look, man, I've been around people like that. Every time you get around, there's some negative shit going on. Or they always got some bullshit to tell you that's not positive and uplifting. And you're like, God damn, man. And then they dump all your fucking negative energy on you. And then now you're carrying on their weight of negative energy. They done took your positive energy and they going about their life and they smiling. I'd like to call it the transference of energy. That's what they do. So it's like an exchange. So they come to you, exchange their negative energy for your good energy. Now you all pissed off. This is the thing I'm gonna tell you. That's another thing that we can add to Black Destruction and the people who add to the madness. Stop fighting other people's wars and battles. Fight your own. Don't fight nobody else's battles. Fight your own. Don't jump out there into the line. Nah, sometimes it's just good for you to back and assess what the fuck you need to be working on. I do. That's why I don't fight other motherfuckers' battles. I'm not trying to do that. I used to be that way. If a motherfucker tell me something, okay, then cool. Then that's my problem then. Cause you try to feel like, okay, if I'm cool. Nah, man, fuck all that. Cause you can be loyal to a purpose that will never be loyal to you. And niggas, bitches, finessers, people, period, not only do not give a fuck about nobody but themselves, they will laugh at you for going hard for their purpose, knowing that they're not going hard for it. Some people get a kick out of finessing so much, they just do it just to see how far they can go. And what trips me out is black people won't finesse other cultures and races, but they will always try to finesse each other and outshine each other and floss on each other. I'm telling you, sometimes when I get in my car, I might go to try to buy a CD. Oh yes, a CD, still to this day. When I try to go buy a CD or something, sometimes I'll pull up to somebody or they'll pull up to me, and once they know it's a nigga in the car, now they want to turn their music up and they want to scoot up so I can see their rims and their beamer and all that, and I just be laughing because I'm like, I'm happy that you're doing that. I just hope that you're not living in an apartment or living at your mama's house. And I just hope that you have life insurance just as well if you have rim insurance and car insurance. I would just hope that you make it to where you have money set aside so you can retire. That's what I'm thinking about. Like, oh, no, you're not. Yes, I am. Because you get around white folks, they got retirement, they got life insurance on all the children, retirement, 401k, money market accounts, stock, bonds. I'm talking about the average middle class family. I'm not talking about motherfuckers that got money. I'm talking about the average motherfucker that got stock and bonds. And if they don't have it, one of their parents have it, or their cousin, or their uncle, somebody have it. So it's like, that's what I'm worried about with my people. How we gonna get into the game? And how we gonna stay there, and how we gotta stop destroying each other. That shit is annoying as fuck sometimes. When I was talking to this sister and the shit that she was telling me, I was like flabbergasted. I didn't even know what the fuck to say. I was like, are you serious? She was like, man, Warren, you don't understand how many of these black motherfuckers get on these jobs, get the dry snitching and telling. And she was like, a lot of it be, I like her definition. She was like, a lot of it be low self-esteem. A lot of it be ugly bitches that ain't got no life and they be mad at a motherfucker that got something going about themselves and they got their own dreams, goals, and ambitions. And that's a fact. That's just like a motherfucker that see a motherfucker in a nice car and they automatically mad. Instead of just being like, hey man, do your thing. Just like I see motherfuckers that's in my same age range and they way more successful than me financially. But I don't hate on them because, the financial part of the game is to sustain your quality of living. But I don't base that on success because there's a whole bunch of motherfuckers that got bread, but they empty inside. They ain't got no fucking money. Mentally, the bank is broke mentally. Like mentally, they bored. Everybody's competition to them. Instead of being in competition with other races, they in competition with everybody around. I've been around people like that. I've been around that shit. That shit is Play-Doh to me because it's like, why would you want to be in competition with your own foe? Like, you're supposed to be in competition with the other races. We are competing against them. They pick out one or two good Negroes, and that is who is the spokesman for our whole community, our whole society. So it's like, you're not competing with me. We're competing with them. But we don't look at it that way. That's why motherfuckers, they always want to, when motherfuckers is doing good and they got their little job, a slave. And, they're making a lot more money than the average person that's a slave too. It's kind of like the niggas that's on the corporate plantation. Not the corporate, but the real plantation. So you got the nigga that's in the house. You got the nigga that's on the field. You got the nigga that's telling everybody what to do. Most of the time, it's either the nigga that's the house Negro or the tell about the gun line boss Negro who's telling the other niggas what to do. And he gets a kick out of that. And he loves putting the other niggas on blast in front of boss, in front of the master. He loves doing that. And the reason why he loves doing that because he's gaining favor with Massa and he's showing Massa that he don't like his own people. That's a fact. And that's exactly what's going on today. Excuse me. That's why, like I said before, a lot of us will not work with each other till the cows come home. But let a dominant society person walk up. We praising them. Look, I could tell a motherfucker a million times about stock and bond. But I bet you if Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Jeff Bezos, or a prominent white person that was like all black people start investing in stock, this is what you need to do. Start buying this and start buying that. Somebody that's famous, a mover and shaker, and we kept putting it out there, niggas would be like, man, shit, Bill Gates said start investing in stocks, so shit, I'm start fucking with it. Or if it was a famous rapper that's like, look, it's about real estate, stocks, bonds, then niggas would be like, okay, well, maybe I should do that. But we still have this mentality that the white man's ice is colder. I don't know why the fuck that is. We won't patronize black businesses. Oh, when you talk shit, no, nigga, you got me fucked up, nigga. Blackandnoble.com, Freedom Paper Company. Sorry. And I'm about to buy some shoes from this, I think it's blackdiscount.com or whatever. And they sell shoes and shit. It ain't no name brand. It's just they shoes. And I like the way they look. I'm buying them. I don't give a fuck. Why not? It's stitch and glue. That's all you buying. We give the shit value, not them. That's the problem. We wait till they validate it, and then we follow behind what they validate. And while we following behind them, they're waiting on us. They're waiting on us to pick out what the next trend and shit is. That's why Wendy's and Popeyes and all them, they was able to finesse that shit to have niggas fighting and arguing over a goddamn Popeyes chicken sandwich. That's just marketing for them. They don't give a fuck who died. They just trying to get them. See, here's the thing that people don't understand. When you buy stock, they send you quarterly earnings. It is law. It is the FCC's law, or the federal FTC or whatever, Federal Trade Commission, or the SEC or whatever. It's a whole bunch of them, but that is a law that is put in place. When you buy stock, they have to send you quarterly earnings of how the company is doing and what is the plan for that company. So I'm pretty sure there are a lot of investors in Popeyes and Wendy's. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Wendy's owns Popeyes. I'm not sure. But I know Wendy's was in that whole little beef and conversation on Twitter. Now, Wendy's stock was like $15 a share 2 days ago. I think it's like $20 a share now. But this is something that most black people are locked in box out of the wealth, so they don't know. You know why? Because we are socialized that stock is for white people, not for black people. Well, why don't you guys go ask Jeremiah Hamilton, the Prince of Darkness, the first black millionaire on Wall Street from Port-au-Prince, Haitian. Why don't you ask him? Go read that book. I got it. I read that book about 3 years ago. That shit fucked me up. They just, see, because when you order a lot of books on Amazon, they just start, they look at your algorithm and then they just start sending you shit through your email. So it popped up on my email one day and I just looked at it and I was like, oh shit, let me read this shit. And I was like, oh, I'm about to order this shit. And I just ordered and read that shit. I read that shit in 2 days. I read that shit literally in 2 days. I was off the court plantation. I was like, man, I read the first chapter. I was like, oh, this shit is good. And I just got hooked and boom. I just read that motherfucker in 2 days. And I was like, God damn, this motherfucker was cold. That nigga was hard. Like, that nigga was doing some hard ass shit on Wall Street, running all kinds of insurance finesses on them motherfucking white people. And that's why they couldn't stand his ass, because that nigga, and I got a book called Leviathan, and let me tell y'all something. You read one book, it'll tell you other book, like sometimes it'll name drop like Dr. Claude Anderson, he name drops a lot of books. There's a lot of books I got from other books I read. And then The Prince of Darkness, The Untold Story of Jeremiah Hamilton, they got a list of his books that he was reading at that time. And one of them was Leviathan. And Leviathan is about what drives people to dominate and why is wealthy and poor people. I haven't read the book. I just read the back of it. And I was like, oh, damn, this nigga was cold. He's reading all kinds of motherfucking books. And I just got a list of his books and I just started adding them to my my cart on Amazon. So that's what made me do that shit. And I was like, man, he raw. And I'm telling you, I can tell I've changed a lot because I never used to read, man. I used to read shit. I'd read magazines, the newspaper. You know, I'd read that a lot, just kind of like catch up on a little bit, and that would be about it. And then I started reading the newspaper because a lot of times, you know, where I used to work, when I used to work at the Y, they'd have newspapers in there, brand new ones. So I just read that shit. And then I kind of stopped, and I started reading, period. And then once I started reading, period, I just, you know, drinking and shit and kicking it. And I got tired of that shit, and I was like, man, I want to know more. Because a lot of times when you work at these corporate plantations, you get frustrated because you're like, damn, man, I'm doing all this shit. These motherfuckers ain't showing me. And you got to understand, their perspective is this is business. Your perspective is, oh, I thought we was cool. No, it's business. Never family. Never personal, always business. So as I started reading the ISIS papers by Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, started breaking down the psychology of racism. Like, damn, man, she not lying. Then I read The Secret Relationship Between Jews and Blacks, and I get a different perspective. Then when I get to Black Labor, White Wealth, I'm already like, whew, I'm gone now. Now I'm like, okay, now I see what the fuck this shit is. So now once I start seeing that shit, it just led me to Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome by Dr. Joy DeGruy. I say this all the time. I only name books that I actually read. You know what I'm saying? And some of the books I ain't remember a lot, but I remember enough. And then some books I can't remember shit. That's why now I just be highlighting everything. Like in The Matter of Color, I just be highlighting everything. So I can always go back and reference the shit. Because I'm telling you, the shit is real. And once you start reading these books, you have a different perspective. And then you start seeing, damn, who the fuck is destroying the neighborhood? It ain't just the drug dealers and the pimps and the hoes and all that shit. Look, that's going to happen no matter what. I'm talking about how we conduct ourselves. Stop bringing up the talking points of what these white people be talking about. And don't let no white person tell you what's wrong with the fucking hood. They know what the fuck is wrong with it. So don't let no motherfucker tell you what we need to be doing. They know what the fuck is going on. They know how we locked and boxed out. No, that's our job to figure out what we need to be doing to move forward, not theirs. Because they're not going to give you no insight on what we need to be doing. When's the last time you went and you saw a Warren Buffett or a Bill Gates or any of these motherfuckers that's highly invested in stock and bonds and they generation? I'm just talking about the average white person that's got bread and amongst a lot of black people. They're not really going to put you on a game like that because they view you as competition. As Dr. Claude Anderson teaches us, racism is the competition of resources. That's what it's about. And motherfuckers be thinking it's some other bullshit. That's why I always be telling motherfuckers all the time, man, you better go get that stock. And you can dick around and bullshit if you want to, but that's on you, man. That's on you. And I'm not saying you got, look, if you can't do nothing but $10, $5 a week, go ahead and do that. And then when you get some extra bread, you go ahead and do that. But enjoy yourself and enjoy who you are. And don't have motherfuckers around you that's not going to let you enjoy what the fuck you got going on. If they're not going to let you enjoy the fruits of your labor, get the fuck away from them. Because you know, some motherfuckers treat you like, how dare you go and go on a cruise? Or how dare you go out of town? Or how dare you, you know, like, that's why it's not good to tell everybody what you got going on. Because everybody's not in the same financial category as you. And they can't comprehend that a lot of times. Because they just don't. And then when you tell them, like, see, I'm quick to be like, well, nigga, you do all this drinking, you do all that. You can allocate that funds so you can do what you want to do. Doing what you want to do is all about allocating your funds to spend your money on what you want to spend your money on. That's why I said you can learn a lot about a person by how they spend their money. Some motherfuckers eat a lot of fast food. You can learn a lot about them. Some motherfuckers buy a lot of alcohol. You can learn a lot of. Some motherfuckers smoke a lot of weed. There's nothing wrong with that. You can learn a lot about each and every one of them. But that doesn't mean you cast judgment. You just be like, oh, that's what they do. Me personally, books, music, stocks, bonds. Facts. And I'm not just talking shit. Like I told you before, I got several trading platforms where I bought my stock and shit. So it's like, you motherfuckers can call me dumb. They can say, all right, nigga, you ain't getting rich off that. Whatever. That's fine with me. But I've spent plenty of money on the shit that I buy stock in just on some bullshit. Plenty of it. Now I own it. Now I own a share of it. Shit, they selling weed? Cool. It's legal? Cool. I'll buy some stock in that weed. Oh, Snoop is endorsing that weed? I'll grab that. That's just me, though. I ain't telling nobody to be like me. But be better than me. Each one has to teach one. Get away from anyone that's trying to destroy your community and your likelihood, you know, your people. You know, when motherfuckers just always got negative shit to talk about with niggas, get the fuck away from them, man. Because everything about us ain't fucking negative. There's a lot of negative aspects about black people and our characteristics, but look at the leadership that we've been under and the dominion we've been under for the last 450 years. You don't think it's going to take a little psychological advantage over us in such a way where we're socialized and programmed to go out and hate each other? Especially when there's an incentive behind it, like, oh, you say this about black people, we'll give you X, Y, and Z. It's a fact. That's why behind every successful artist back in the day, musical artist, there was a Caucasian person that just happens to be Jewish. I'm just telling you what the facts are. It's so funny how you can't buy The Secret Relationship Between Jews and Blacks on Amazon anymore. And what trips me out about that shit is, when you read the actual book, see, I actually read the book. They took sightings from Jewish scholars, white Jewish scholars. These were not sightings from the Nation of Islam. No, the Nation of Islam got all these sites from white Jewish scholars. I just think that people will automatically see the Nation of Islam and be like, oh, well, they, you know, like I was told before, they preach hate and all this other shit. And it's like, man, have you... Look, like the Quran says, study from the cradle to the grave, motherfucker. Know about all type of shit. Don't just know about one thing. But that's just me. Oh, I've been a disruptor of my community. I've been a disruptor of my people and figuring like, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't fuck with them. You know, then you start thinking about it, you're like, that shit is crazy, man. Whether I have beefs with any of my people or not, I am not going to jeopardize their money, and I would like it if they didn't jeopardize mine. But a lot of black people get high off that shit on some Hayward Shepherd ass telling on another motherfucker. They think, you know why? Because we feel like it gives us power. I just beat this nigga's ass the other day because it gives you power. You know what I'm saying? Some people, it gives them power. But what I don't see is a whole lot of motherfuckers going in on the white people. What I don't see is these celebrities that going at Nick Cannon. That's going at Nick Cannon and Lord Jamar. Why don't y'all take that same energy and go at racism and the system of white supremacy? The one thing that I do love about Nick Cannon, if he ever has disagreements with anyone in this camp, he's not going to Instagram it. He's not going to post it and make fun of them and record conversations. And Nick Cannon's not cut that from that cloth. Some motherfuckers are. And a lot of the dominant society, they get high off of. That's why you're allowed to make certain moves when you make a mockery out of your own people. Trust and believe you me. When you start making a mockery out of other races, they motherfuckers start feeling some type of way. But anyway, man, I've been on here long enough. I appreciate everybody listening, subscribe. I got shit that I got to do, and it don't mean being on this motherfucker. Appreciate everybody listening, subscribing. Hey, man, each one teach one. I tell motherfuckers all the motherfucking time, do not be a disruptor of your community, and do not be the type of motherfucker that don't nobody want to be around because you're a Debbie Downer, a negative Nancy, and everything black people do is wrong, and black people need to be like white people and all this other shit. Nah, man, get the fuck away from them. No, what you need to do is take the social characteristics of the dominant society and cast that aside and look at how they get their money and look at how they have ascertained the knowledge of getting the money, like stocks, bonds, all that. No, that doesn't mean be a coon and a sandbone, start telling everybody and smiling with motherfuckers and gutting them like a fish. No, don't take on those type of attributes because that shit will get you fucked up in the street. So don't do that. But anyways, hey man, I digress. This is the No I Don't Know TV series. Shout out to Nuke. I'm about to text her right now. Hey man, I appreciate everybody listening, subscribing. Nigga, I'm out. Peace.